So a friend of mine gave me the idea to post this, and I'll try to remember to post one every month. But this is a cheat sheet from the Blooms, Farmers, and Planters Almanac. For those of you who don't know, the Farmer's Almanac is a book that gets put out every year that predicts upcoming weather patterns, solar activity, lunar activity, and all things of that for the coming year. And it helps determine the best days to plant and do other things. Just like the moon phases affect the tide of the ocean and the water in our bodies, it also affects the sap in trees and other vegetation. So these dates are set according to the moon phases, and when the sap and the energy is being pulled up from the earth, that's when you plant your above ground crops. When it's being pushed down, that's when you plant your root crops. My dad always planted by the moon signs religiously, and his gardens were always gorgeous. Now, I know some people will say this is BS and others will say it's witchcraft, but however you choose to view it, it is scientifically backed data that was researched over a span of 30 years. If you want to know more about that, you can Google it. But in order to read this quick guide, plant above ground crops on those days. Your above ground crops would be like your beans, tomatoes, corn. Root crops, of course, is your potatoes, turnips, carrots, things of that nature. Transplanting is when you dig up a plant from one location and plant it in another location. Yes, believe it or not, there is best days of the month for that. Prune, to encourage or discourage growth. That's cutting back your trees and shrubs. If you want them to grow better, do it on certain days. If you want them to stop growing so much, you do it on certain days. And believe it or not, this also applies to cutting hair. If you want your hair to grow, cut it on the days to encourage growth. If you want to go to the website or even go get the book, it also has best days to fish, best days to hunt, best days to set your incubator to hatch chicks, all kinds of things of that nature. It also has a lot of other farming and gardening tips, and even predicts the weather for the whole coming year. And for the most part, it gets it right. So anywho, let me know in the comments if you guys ever used the Almanac, or if you're going to start using it. Let me know if you see any differences.